Students, today we will discuss Young's theorem. If AB is a point of the domain of function fxy such that fx and fy exist in a certain neighborhood of point AB and partial derivative of f with respect to x and y are differentiable at point A and B, then fxy at AB and fy at AB, fyx at AB are equal. Because fx and fy are differentiable, then second order partial derivatives fxx, fxy, fyx, fyy exist at point AB. Let us take a point in the neighborhood of this point AB. Suppose point is a plus h, b plus k, and suppose phi x is a function which is equal to phi x b plus h minus phi x b. Therefore, phi a plus h minus phi a will be equal to phi a plus h b plus h minus phi a plus h b, that will be equal to f a b plus h plus f a b. Suppose that this is equal to delta to f. By using Lagrange's mean value theorem, we have phi a plus h minus phi a will be equal to h into phi dash a plus theta h, where theta is a number between 0 and 1. Now, phi dash x will be equal to partial derivative of f with respect to x at xb plus h minus fx at xb. Similarly, phi dash a plus theta h will be equal to fx a plus theta h b plus h minus fx a plus theta h b. From equation 2, we have phi a plus theta h, phi a plus theta, phi a plus h minus phi a is equal to h into phi x a plus theta h b plus h minus fx a plus theta h b. Because fx and fy are differentiable, then fx at point a plus theta h b plus h minus fx a b will be equal to theta into h fxx plus h fyx plus h into epsilon dash, where epsilon dash approaches to 0 as h approaches to 0. Similarly, we can find fx a plus theta h b minus fx a b comes out to be theta h fxx plus epsilon h into epsilon double dash, h into epsilon double dash, where epsilon double dash approaches to 0 as h approaches to 0. Now we subtract equation 5 from 4, we get fx a plus theta h b plus h minus fx a plus theta h at a plus theta h b is equal to h fyx plus h epsilon dash plus epsilon double dash. Now from equation 3 we get a plus phi a plus h minus phi is equal to h into h fyx plus h into epsilon dash plus epsilon double dash, that is delta to f is equal to h square fyx plus h square epsilon 1, where epsilon 1 is equal to epsilon dash plus epsilon double dash, which approaches to 0 as h approaches to 0. This means delta to f upon h square is equal to fyx plus epsilon 1. Suppose this is equation 4, and let phi y is equal to a plus hy minus fya. Proceeding as above, we get that delta to f upon h square comes out to be fxy plus epsilon 2, and epsilon 2 approaches to 0 as h approaches to 0. From 6th and 7th, we have fyx plus epsilon 1 is equal to fxy plus epsilon 2, and taking limit as h approach to 0, epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 approach to 0, therefore fyx plus 0 is equal to fxy plus 0, that is fyx is equal to fxy. Now we discuss the derivative of a composite function, that is a chain rule. Suppose f is a function from Rm to Rm and g is a function Rm to R, such that f is differentiable at any point x in Rm and g is differentiable at point fx. Then the composite function capital F g of f from Rn to R is a differentiable at x, and also for I from 1 to n curly upon curly xi of capital Fx, this composite function will be equal to di g of fx will be equal to summation j is equal to 1 to m di fjx dj g of fx, that is equal to di f1x d1 g of fx plus di f2x d2 g of fx plus and so on di fmx dm g of fx. Now we prove this theorem for m equal to 2 and n equal to 3. Let us suppose that f is equal to f1x and fx2x, that is we have two functions and three variables, x is equal to x1, x2, x3. Because f is differentiable at any point x1, x2, x3, therefore f1 and f2 are both differentiable at point x. For h1, h2, h3 we have fx plus h minus fx is equal to f1, x plus h minus f1x, f2 x plus h minus f2x. Suppose this is equal to k1, k2, where k1 is equal to h1 d1 f1x plus h2 d2 f1x plus h3 f2x plus h3 d3 f1x plus h1 epsilon 1 plus h2 epsilon 2 plus h3 epsilon 3, and k2 is h1 d1 f2x plus h2 d2 f2x plus h3 d2 d3 f2x plus h1 epsilon 1 dash h2 epsilon 2 dash h3 epsilon 3 dash, where k1 k2 epsilon 1 2 3 epsilon 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash approach to 0 as h approach to 0, because f is differentiable at any point, therefore we can write g of f x plus h minus g of fx is equal to g of f1x plus k1 f2x plus k2 minus g of fx1 f1x f2x. This is equal to k d1 g of fx plus k2 d2 g of fx plus eta 1 k plus k1 plus eta 2 k2, where eta 1 and eta 2 approach to 0 as k1 and k2 approach to 0, and this will be equal to g of fx plus h minus g of fx will be equal to d1 g of fx plus eta 1 into h1 d1 f1 x plus h2 d2 f1x plus h3 d3 f1x plus h1 epsilon 1 plus h2 epsilon 2 h3 epsilon 3 plus d2 g of fx plus eta 2 h1 d1 f2x h2 d2 f2x h3 d2 3 f2x plus h1 epsilon 1 dash h2 epsilon 2 dash plus h3 epsilon 3 dash, and this can be written as I is equal to 1 to 3 h1 di f1x d1 g of x fx plus di f2x d2 g of fx plus h1 mu 1 h2 mu 2 h3 mu 3, where mu I is equal to eta 1 d1 g of fx plus epsilon I di g of fx plus eta 1 plus epsilon 1 dash d2 g of fx plus eta 2, and mu I approach to 0 as h approach to 0. Therefore, g of f is differentiable at any point x, and partial derivative of g of f with respect to xi will be equal to df1x d1 g of fx plus di f2x d2 g of fx, where I is equal to 1 to 3. Let us take example. Suppose g is a function defined from R3 to R2, defined by gx by z is equal to x e raised to power z sin x plus y, and f is defined from R2 to R, defined by f alpha beta is equal to alpha square plus beta square, and then we have to find capital F partial derivative of this composite function f of g with respect to x. Because g is a function of 3 variables and is equal to g1 g2, suppose where g1 is equal to x and g2 is equal to e raised to power z sin of x plus y. Now g1 partial derivative of g1 with respect to is comes out to be 1, because g1 is equal to x and g2 is equal to e raised to power z sin x plus y, and then partial derivative of g2 with respect to x will be equal to e raised to power z constant, and derivative of sine will be equal to cos x plus y, and also fx y is equal to x square plus y square. Therefore, partial derivative of f with respect to x is equal to 2x, and partial derivative of f with respect to y is equal to 2y. Now, partial derivative of this composite function is equal to partial derivative of f x ez plus ez sin x plus y is coming out to be 2x, because curly f upon curly x is equal to 2x. Similarly, curly f upon curly y is equal to 2y, and again if we differentiate f of g partially with respect to y, that will be equal to curly f upon curly y f x e raised to power z sin x plus y, that will be equal to 2 e raised to power z sin x plus y. Now, by chain rule, partial derivative of composite function capital F x y z will be equal to curly upon curly x g1 x y z, curly upon curly x f of g x y z plus curly upon curly g2 x y z, curly upon curly y f of g x y z. Now, we put the value of g1, partial derivative of g1, that is equal to 1, and partial derivative of f of g, that is equal to 2x, and partial derivative of g2 with respect to x is equal to e raised to power z cos x plus y, and partial derivative of f of g with respect to y is equal to 2 e raised to power z sin x plus y. Therefore, partial derivative of composite function capital F with respect to x is equal to 2x plus 2 e raised to power 2z sin x plus y cos x plus y. Now, we discussed the theorem on total differential. If z is equal to x f x y possess continuous partial derivative of first order, then the total differential of z is given by dz is equal to partial derivative of z with respect to x into dx plus curly z upon curly y dy. So, here we have function z is equal to f x y, and delta x and delta y be the increment in the independent variable x and y respectively, and delta z be the corresponding increment in z, then z plus delta z will be equal to f x plus delta x y plus delta y, and subtracting equation 1 from 2 we get delta z is equal to f x plus delta y x y plus delta y minus f x. The right hand side of this equation can be written as delta z, that is delta z is equal to f x plus delta x y plus delta y. We add and subtract this term minus f x y plus delta y and add plus f x y plus delta y. This will be equal to, by Lagrange mean value theorem, this will be equal to delta x f x x plus theta 1 delta x y plus delta y plus delta y f y x y plus theta 2 delta y. where theta 1 and theta 2 are numbers between real numbers between 0 and 1. Therefore, and also suppose fx x plus theta 1 delta x y plus delta y is equal to fx at x y plus epsilon 1, and where epsilon 1 approaches to 0 as the delta x delta y approaches to 0 again. Fy at x y plus theta 2 delta y is equal to fy x y plus epsilon 2, and epsilon 2 approaches to 0 as delta x delta y approaches to 0. Then from equation 3, delta z is will be equal to delta x fxy plus epsilon 1 plus delta y fy xy plus epsilon 2. This can be written as delta z is equal to delta x fx at xy plus delta y fy xy plus epsilon 1 delta x plus epsilon 2 delta y, and epsilon 1 epsilon 2 approach to 0 as delta x and delta y approach to 0. Therefore, delta z is equal to curly z upon curly x delta dx plus dx curly z upon curly y delta into delta y. When suppose z is equal to x, then dx will be equal to dz is equal to 1 into delta x plus 0 into delta y, which is equal to delta x. Similarly, by taking z is equal to y, we have delta y is equal to dy. By putting these values of delta x and delta y in this equation 4, dz comes out to delta curly z upon curly x dx plus curly z upon curly y dy. This is the theorem on total differentials of a function of two variables. Thank you, students.